So a bit ago, I got a request if I could do a fake Grand Order guide to playing and tips and tricks and all that stuff. So we are going to do that today. I will say just up front, I am definitely a hardcore player, so do forgive me though, I have not started the Valentine's Day event since it literally just went up. But one thing, just real quick, this currency I'm using, it burns my AP, which is your action points to run missions and stuff. Those regenerate every single day, so like if you go into daily quests, that's what you use to run these missions, which they've unlocked all of that for us right now. I don't have time to play all of those right now, so I like to just burn it into the apples, so when we're in the middle of an event, I can go in here and then just use those guys, because it's kind of hard to do some grinding if you don't have enough apples, especially since my golden fruit had dropped below 100 not that long ago, so I definitely needed to do that. But yeah, so first things first, I guess let's just hit with the events. Play the events. I don't care if you're reading the story. I don't care if your servants are under-leveled. Like, I literally don't care where you are anywhere in the game progress. Just do something with the event at least. Even if you're only playing for 10 minutes a day, like, and getting, like, 2 pieces of material. It's way better than some of the generic stuff that you would get. And, there's just way better resources, usually in the events, that they don't offer as accessible. So that's one thing. Usually also with events, just a heads up, is that there'll be the limited time servants. So right now we have Pope Johanna, which is not a bad servant at all. I believe this does have some of her information somewhere on the screen. But she's a ruler. Oh. No, it doesn't have it on that screen, but limited time servants, you usually can't go wrong with a 5-star. Craft essences, you probably shouldn't be pulling for these or using all of your quartz on them, but I am guilty of being tempted to roll for that Proto Merlin and Crimphild card. Story banner, waste of your Saint quartz. Really. Like, I like a lot of servants on that banner, but just don't roll on there. Like, save your quartz for the limited time servants, because they're available for just such short bursts of time that you really shouldn't be rolling on this. I mean, occasionally, if I'm feeling lucky, but there's literally nothing else to roll, I'll roll like a random single on the story to see if I get anything. Kind of a mixed bag, but the occasional singles, I think, whatever, but don't go wailing on the story banner. Like, just save it for limited friend points. Go ahead and whale on here. The game gives you so many, and you really should, because the point in the game we're at now, they give you, you get a chance to get these codes, which this is by far the best one to get out of the friend gacha, and I love using it on my support servants. And then also, if you pull servants, they will get the coins, which then you can go and use those for lots of other things. Also, another thing about the friend gacha is you can get XP cards out of it. Not really that high on the priority list, but in this gacha only, you can pull, depending on where you are in the story, if you've completed Avalon, you can pull 4-star Rider Habitrot, and then everybody can pull from the friend gacha 4-star Saber Lily, which if you don't have any sabers, even though she's not the best saber in the game at all, still great servant to have on hand if you're starting out early. And then the third exclusive servant currently in the English server is Angromayu, which is a no-star servant technically, but he has more like stats of a 2-star. He is an Avenger class, so he's definitely very unique. He's a bit quirky, but in terms of special servants that you can pull out of this gacha, they're exclusive to that only, so definitely worth pulling. And then, depending on if they will bring bring them back again at some point. There is also, pardon me as I'm looking for them, we've got this Lancer that was from the Paul Bunyan event. She's 1 star, so you just had to roll in the gacha while the event was running and you could get her, and that was a really easy NP5. And these special servants that they've been putting in the friend point system have been pretty useful too to have on hand, especially if you're current with the story. You need as many servants as you can for a mission and for certain types of events. The other servant that they have done like this in the friend points system, which I grailed mine to 90, he's normally 60 but is Nobukatsu, and I like using him for some extra buffs, and he's cheap to put in the back of my party, so he chills out back there to give me quartz. But once again, easy NP5, easy servant to get their pen skills, so like he's completely unlocked for his pen skills, which I can talk about that later, or break that up into different segments. But friend gacha, go ahead and roll. They give you didn't mean to go in that menu, I forgot. Da Vinci was gonna start talking. But yeah, they give you plenty of friend points within the game, so do not hoard them at all. Also, on the topic of friend points, do not ever purchase them from this shop. Do not do it. Do not. That is a waste of your rare mana prisms. If you missed the missions, unlocking these special missions would be more useful to you, or honestly, unlocking the specific craft essences is your best thing to do. Do not pay the 5 mana prisms per 1 craft essence. That's useless. Really, at this point in the game, none of these cards do something so special that you need to do that. I've been buying stuff out of here, so I don't have quite as much on hand, but your best items to buy out of the resource shop here is the faux cards. If you need them crystallized lore, I don't, because I've just been getting them from all the events. And Lantern of Chaldea is the one that is tied to Bond, but once again, kind of based on your account. You can buy Beast Footprint, but really that's like an overachiever item, so you shouldn't worry about it.
Mana Prism to 交換? 用意した甲斐があったな.
Now they did, of course, I gotta farm some Mana Prisms, but the Mana Prism shop refreshes every month, and every little bit they add in additional command codes to buy, along with code openers to enhance your servants. And then part of New Year's, there's usually like the lantern you can buy, and then there's always every month summon tickets and XP cards with faux cards. So definitely good to even just play a little bit every day, because after one of the new updates at the start of the year, they have now added in the clipboard or master missions. You've got daily missions that give you Mana Prisms, and there's a ticket for each mission you complete that gets you a resource of your choosing, and there's like a list of like 6 different resources. So just simply logging in and like running one of like the really cheap missions from the Chaldea Gate here, like super easy daily. If that's all you want to do in Fate, go ahead. Another thing is, if you're hungry for bond points and or quartz, to go ahead into rank up missions and do as many of these as you can. I've got some servants I need to level up, but every little bit they add new ones in too, so now I have one to run. Alright, I feel like I got a little off tangent there. Okay, try not to overcomplicate this for new players. Also, if you're a new player and you don't mind spending a few dollars, the Start Dash campaign that they are running is such a good opportunity for new players, because all of these servants offered on this banner are limited 5-star servants, and overall I'd say everybody is 10 out of 10 worth it. I think there's a few of them that are a little bit weaker than others if you don't have certain like support servants to go with them, but overall all great servants. I mean, you even have one of the big supports in here, Scotty, for your quick. So definitely if you are in need of 5 stars, any of them are great. It's only 12 courts, and I did it too because a lot of them are my favorite servants too, and I'm missing people. Like, I was trying to get Musashi, but I got another copy of Maid, which is fine. Love Maid. But yeah, so they bring those back every little bit, and they also do the Start Dash campaigns to make sure that you're actually logging in like every single day. So do make sure to collect your logins. They just finished running a 7-day login campaign that on the 7th day you got 30 courts. So it's definitely with Fate, they are very punishing with if you do not log in every single day, you won't get your stuff. So even if you do nothing, you just log in for 2 seconds and leave, I'd say that's one of the most important things to do with Fate, as especially a new player, is just getting your rewards. Also, players like me won't kick you out of their friends list, because if I find you slacking in my friends list and you are not somebody from the start of the game that I've been friends with, then you're being booted out. Like, you haven't logged in for 3 days, you haven't logged in for 3 days. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just constantly having people friend request me and whatnot, so I kind of have to do that. But like these two, they're still here because they're start of the game's people, so just trying to be nice with them. Honestly, I don't remember this person, so they can go and I can go help somebody else into my friends list. Like, I don't mind if you don't have all 5 stars in your lineup, but just put your servants up. Put craft essences up in your lineup. That is the #1 pet peeve for me, is I hate seeing these lineups empty. I won't accept your friend request if they're empty. Like, you don't need to have the same servants I do. That's fine. Just, if you want to end up being accepted by... Hit the wrong button again. If you want to be accepted for your friend request in big accounts, do not do this. Because that gets you not in. What is there, 2 of you? I mean, I get the game walks you through and it's like, here, put MASH in the lineup, but like, once you've done that, like, go back and fix it. Because okay, that was a little uneventful for today's friend request. But yeah, so that's definitely really important. I don't care if your servants aren't all the way maxed already. Like, if you, especially if I can see you just started the game, and like, don't worry about leveling the craft essences. They each have their own levels and stuff. Like, that's just not important at the start of the game at all. Really, your biggest concern is to go to servant enhancement and actually level any servants that are... I mean, I'm guilty of this, having few servants sitting down here at like level 1, because I literally just pulled them. The other thing, as a new player, is you really need to work on your skills. So, of course, these are like bad examples, because I maxed out a lot of them, but people like... We'll do Britomar as an example. She has an NP gauge, so she has the skills... is what it's called a lot of times. So she has an automatic charge she comes with. Hers is 30% at 10, so that's why that skill has a 10 now. But at the start of the battle, when you pop that skill, she'll have 30% of her NP gauge, and let's say if you put on her a kaleidoscope, that's an 80%, so more than you need. But if you put kaleidoscope on her, she's got an instant noble, so then you can just go into a mission and nuke somebody. Here we go. So if we put imaginary element on her, this card's unfortunately not in the normal gacha anymore, and you do have to roll in the front to get it. But there's other versions that are just like it, like Vessel of Desire does 50% and NP bonus. But yeah, so if we run with this team, this will give you an example of what a instant battery looks like walking into a battle. Alright, so we're going to pop that skill. And then a lot of servants like this, it's important to pop their skills that have an increased gain attached to it. This allows them to loop. It's okay if you don't understand a single word I just said. Then I'm going to give her a buff. And then she is all set. Alright, so after her noble, because I popped that NP gain skill, she now has 58% of her noble, which allows Scotty to go ahead and pop her charge onto her, and she's all set to noble once again. Generally, you don't take a Lancer to beat up Riders, but Rico Mart's a little different. She has some bonus damage against Riders, and the rest of them are Berserkers, so it doesn't matter in the slightest. Alright, now she did only do 49% refund that time. So, we'll see what variable the game decided. Sometimes when it hits 49, Scotty only has a 50%, it was still 100, like that. Breedomart is also really good at making a ridiculous amount of crit stars. And let's see, let's, for giggles, get out the other Scotty. Give her a few other buffs. And generally, you don't want a servant that attacks everybody to attack, but in this case, with Brave Thing, does plenty of damage. And like she said, that's how you get victory. Well, actually, she said a lot more than that, but... So that is one of the common strategies, or I should say formulas, for playing missions in this game. What I just used right there in that demonstration is a farming team, and makes your life a lot easier in Fate, because Fate can be grindy as heck. But yeah, just a recap of that point. Servants with charges. That's Bradamante. Not Bradamante. Yeah. Mixing servants here. Where'd she go? There she is. Alright, so servants with batteries. You want to put those skills to 10. Applies to that same skill too, but servants with attack ups, you want to put that skill to 10. Melusines battery is also attached to her attack up, but like Radamante's quicken arts up is a separate skill from her charge, so you want to put both of those to 10, ideally to get the max bonus from her damage. Not done leveling her, but same here with, say, Shonagon, you want to level up those two. The evade's nice, I won't deny it's a nice skill, but it's one of those long term, you want the increased attack up, and honestly, this one should have been leveled first, but it was just one of those when I pulled her, I started leveling the attack up first. They're both important, so I'm going to put them both at 10 anyways. It's not like I'm using her right this second. But servants like, for example, Ishtar is why she is solid 10, 10, 10, because these are all vital skills for her to be able to clear missions super easily, and also be able to take her to missions that she does not have bonus damage against the enemies. Da Vinci keeps interrupting me, so I'm gonna wrap it up for this chunk here today. Probably make a small series of this because there is just way too much about Fate's gameplay to break it down in like one video, and I didn't want to make this like nitty-gritty for everybody. So if you have a preference on what you hear about next, feel free to let me know in the comments. But yeah, that is it for today's quick Fate crash course. See you next time. Bye!